Plaintiff Shawana State moved into the apartment directly below the defendant, and she claims she's had numerous problems with the defendant and her children. Shawana says the defendant's 14-year-old son is constantly starting fights with her son, and she claims the defendant's child ran his bike into her car and damaged it, so she's suing. Defendant Margaret Crosley says Shawana's 13-year-old son is disruptive, and he once climbed on the roof of their building, and Margaret nearly shot him. Margaret denies that her son ran his bike into Shawana's car because he is legally blind, and she's countersuing for property damage and emotional distress.
Start with you.
Well, you are very handsome in person than on television. I just had to say that. Thank you. I'm here. I moved in, to the apartment. I was, a neighbor from Miss Crosley. She lived upstairs, January 2007.
All right.
Okay. Within a month or so, after I moved there, it was just loud noise going on, basketball bouncing, all type of, I spoke to
all the things that children do.
Yeah,
Do you have a problem with children bouncing basketballs?
Well,
generally?
not.
Okay, so why did you mention it as a problem?
Okay, well, reason why I said that, it was early, it will be late at night, early in the morning.
Okay.
And
Anna, may I say something, please?
Go ahead.
Well, within that, I spoke to Miss Crosley. I asked her, several times, if you can, tone down the noise a little bit. And
the basketball?
Well, the loud noise, music playing.
It sounds a little unreasonable that you would have a problem with a kid bouncing a basketball, because kids, that's a very normal activity for a child.
But not in the house.
Yes, it is.
In the house?
Yeah. Yeah.
Please. Okay.
Go ahead.
I spoke with her several times.
I used to do it. My sons do it. My neighbors' sons do it.
Yeah.
I used to do it.
You used to do it? My niece and nephew used to, even my niece, and the nephew used to do it. So unless we're just strange. Go ahead. What else? Music, basketball. Mm-hmm.
After that, she would just go on she said she would, I'll handle the situation, take care of it, and it'll be for a second or so, and then everything will start back. Left that alone. Within that time, her son will come visit, her on the weekends. She didn't have custody of him. She just recently regained custody of her son, her 14-year-old.
And how many did she have full custody of?
1, 2, 3, 4 children. They start altercations with my son, trying to bully him, starting fights, picking with him, and bullying, I don't play.
What did you do in response?
Oh, well, my son, he would come to me, or he went to Miss Crosley and spoke to her or told her.
So what would you do? Not
what would I do? Oh,
yes,
I would
ma'am.
handle the situation.
How?
Yeah, speak to my son and
handle it
tell
how?
him, not to mess with him.
Okay,
if there's a way that you don't have to play with him.
How often did he do it?
It was all the time.
Every week?
Yes, every time that he was over there, they always got into an
all you
altercation.
did was say, that's not nice.
Leave him alone.
She's
if
lying.
You guys can't
That's
get
my
along.
point. If you keep telling a person, leave my son alone, a bully who comes to your house and bullies your son every single week, and all you say is leave him alone, you should say, don't hang out with him anymore. Did that ever occur to you?
Right, I
And
understand.
he broke your rule? He broke your rule every single week, your son?
Well, what if they play together?
Right. So he was breaking. If he played together,
he did.
Man, please don't talk over me.
I'm sorry.
Because you're not making sense, and I have to make sense. Now my question would be, what would you do when your son would break your rule every single week?
Tell him stop hanging with him.
Just say stop. Okay. Good enough.
She did
Next time, try a little discipline. Maybe some sort of punishment. Can't go out this weekend. Whatever he likes, prohibit him from doing it.
Yeah,
that type of thing. All right?
Right.
Okay.
To me, Your Honor,
Let me allow you to speak.
her son is disruptive, disrespectful, and don't care about nothing. He don't even listen to her.
Yeah, he does. Oh, she admitted that.
First of all, let me tell you.
She said she tells him all the time and he still doesn't.
She's the
Go
type
ahead.
of person that made a false police report stating her 4-year-old daughter was missing. Had the police, the
Hold on,
helicopters.
man. Where do you get that from? That's
I
a
have
pretty
it documented.
inflammatory allegation.
I have documentation. I'm her neighbor.
Was she legitimately missing?
No, she had her at her friend's house playing games with the baby's father.
Why do you think she told the police the child?
I have no idea. I don't know what goes on in her head.
What do you have to prove that?
I have police reports, documentation.
Read the part that says we found out that she falsely reported her child missing.
They won't give it to me because that's not a part of the freedom of release. I have the calls that was made.
Oh, just the call to the police. They could have been calling on your kids.
Nah.
She could have. All right.
She got arrested.
What else you want me to know?
She got arrested for that.
All right. Also, you have evidence of that?
No, I don't.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Do you admit being arrested for filing a false charge about your daughter being missing?
No false charge, nothing reported.
Never arrested for that?
Never arrested for that.
Oh,
it's not
right.
harassment.
I don't think she would agree.
Nothing's going on. I know what you're talking about.
I'm sure she wouldn't.
What else you want me to know before we get to this incident?
Her 13-year-old son, he climbed up on the roof. I live on the second floor at my window. I'm a licensed security guard and a gun owner. I was about to shoot through my window and kill her son. When I spoke to her about it, she told me I should have opened the window and let her son in.
Ma'am, did your son ever crawl up like that over to her roof?
With that incident, Judge Mathis, my neighbor had her keys locked out. And the window, she asked my son if he can crawl up on the roof to, go through to unlock the door.
Okay. Did you know that?
Even if he was going to assist.
No, it's no even if he was. That's totally different, ma'am. Let me get to you on this incident. No, you've said enough. I got your point, and let me get back to her now, and you can get to the lawsuit for the car damage.
Okay. Recently, July 16th, her son was outside riding his bike, her younger son, and his cousin was watching him. Miss Crossley, she wasn't home. And as he's riding, his cousin left and went to the store. When she came back, he was cursing, "Why you didn't take me to that store, you stupid. I got something for you. I'm gonna run you over with my bike." As he's riding his bike, he jumped off the bike and this bike ghost rided and it detoured and ran right into my car. I said, "Mikey, why would you do that?" He ran upstairs and ran in the house. And she got home, she looked at the car, she saw what happened. She was like, "All right, well, get an estimate and we'll take it from there." I went and got an estimate. About 2 days later, I gave it back to her. She's like, "Wow, this is too high." I got 3 estimates, Your Honor.
All right. What was her last word to you?
She's not paying for my car. She's not doing nothing.
Did she say why? Her final word, her final reason?
No, she didn't say why.
All right,
Tell them why.
Ma'am, talk to me. What do you want to tell me about the accident?
She has numerous men. I have documentation right here. Can I finish?
Ma'am, that's irrelevant.
Okay.
Talk to me about this incident.
This incident, particularly her car. She was involved with someone that threw a television through her car. He beat her car up real bad and tried to enter through her house, pushing the air conditioner through the window. So then she comes up and says, after her car is beat up, that my son made one little mark on her car. Impossible. My son is legally blind and disabled. He's not allowed outside unsupervised. All of my children are disabled. And
he doesn't ride a bike at all then?
He rides, but he can't stay on the bike.
He can't see. Right. He can't stay on.
He doesn't stay on. He tries. It's not funny.
What you just told me is that your son is blind
legally,
and he rides a bike and he always falls off.
He does have some vision in his left eye.
Okay.
He has severe ADHD and impulse control disorder. He's medicated.
Okay.
My son is like the average child, whether he has the disabilities or not. And he will try to ride a bike and fall off, and he'll try to get up on it again. This is what he does. That's the impulsivity that he has. That's what he's being treated for. This is what keeps him.
What keeps him?
This is what keeps him calm and settled. I mean,
so I
don't interrupt him. He's not doing anything.
Hold on. You let your son, who is legally blind, ride a bike and fall off the bike regularly because it keeps him?
He's not
keeps him calm?
He's not hurting himself, Your Honor.
I know, but your answer is yes to my question?
I will allow him, yes.
Okay, good enough.
I'm there.
So tell me about this incident she's alleging.
We didn't talk.
Never.
She stated.
Ma'am, never?
We said a few words.
Okay, so why did you just tell me we didn't talk?
Well, I should have said we spoke upon it instead of having an extensive conversation.
When you speak about it, you're talking about it. Wow. Now, what was the conversation?
She showed me one little tiny mark. She said, he didn't do all of these, but he did this one right here.
You never said, I'll contribute some money. You never said, go and get an estimate. All these other things you never said.
I never spoke to her about an estimate or I would contribute.
Okay. So then I'm left with the question of whether your boyfriend did all this to the side of your car.
I have pictures.
Okay, let's
showing
see
that.
You have pictures of the damage?
Just of what the television, that's it.
Of what you're suing her for?
Oh, no, I have the pictures of, I have those right here.
Okay, this is on your trunk.
That's the side of the, that's just the trunk of the car.
Your boyfriend did this to you?
That who wasn't a boyfriend
Basically
for long.
what he did, he threw the TV on your trunk.
Yes.
All right. Why are you laughing?
Because
that's funny to you?
He did more than that,
That's
Your
funny
Honor.
to you?
No, it's not funny.
What else he do?
He beat her car up. He beat her car up.
How? Describe it.
He was kicking, punching, he was jumping on her car. We called the police.
On the top?
Yes, he was all over her car.
Okay, what does that have to do with the damage to the side?
Because
of
it's
your
impossible for her to assume that my son did one little tiny scratch and saying he didn't do the rest of it.
No.
And I actually watched this man destroy her car.
She shows me evidence of what looks like a dent caused by a bicycle, and it's on the side. It's not on the top where you allege you observe the boyfriend jumping. Ma'am, let me see the estimate you have.
These are two.
Okay.
I, tried to come to a conclusion with Ms. Crosley with the lowest one.
$885, and then the other one is $894. Ma'am, your counterclaim is for $500. How does she owe you for that?
Because of after the situations that went on and the multiple police calls because of her son destroying my property, tearing up my children's bike.
Now I need you to describe the destruction.
In August, when I brought my mother back from surgery for cancer removal, he urinated on my door and pulled a knife out on my sister.
So
Next.
where were you?
Where was I? I was
Yes.
working at my mother's job. I went to surgery with my mother and I also filled in
So who
on
told
her
you
job.
he did that?
The kids called me every time.
Who called you?
My oldest daughter.
What'd she tell you?
She said, Mommy, I don't want to call her son's name.
Her son.
Was at the door again, and he urinated in front of my door. And then when my sister went out the door to see where she was, because she left him unattended, he pulled a butcher knife out on her.
And you have any type of report?
It's not true.
I have a police report where I called, and because she
About the
wasn't
knife.
home,
That's the most serious offense.
Yeah,
He pulled
because
a
she
knife
wasn't
on
home.
a butcher knife, a deadly weapon.
here's the police report.
Read the part where it is reported that he pulled a deadly weapon, a butcher knife in particular.
It's not printed on here.
Right.
This is
Gotcha.
report
Good
taken.
enough, ma'am. Good enough.
It says
Thank
report
you.
taken.
Thank you anyway. All right. Ma'am, I don't believe most of what you've told me today. You said you never spoke with this woman one time after seeing the little dent. I don't believe you. I believe she would have been on you if nothing else. And if she was on you to talk to her and you ignored her, that's even more evidence of guilt. So I'm going to dismiss your claim and I'm going to grant the plaintiff's claim for $885. Have a good day. Gentlemen, for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't live there no more. I don't have to deal with the drama, everything that goes on with
there
her.
every
So
day, whether she
yeah, I still come there because my
every day.
neighbor Delphine,
And no
what's
one
up,
has
girl? I
nothing
will
to
see
do
you when I
with
get
her.
home.
No one has anything to do
That's
with her.
it.
And
I just want my car fixed. That's it. I just wanted my car fixed.
Well, get it fixed.
And that's something. Yeah, I'm going to get it fixed. Thanks to
Hey.
you. Thank you very much.